style of what you expect him to bring to the ring that you're prepared for?
Like I always say, we never prepared one way for one person. We prepare all the way around because you never know how that guy's gonna come up, mix everything up. So
Okay, that's James Conlon. James, you should be able to unmute and ask your question.
Can you hear me?
There you are. We hear you now.
Hello,
James.
Jaron. You are undefeated, 25-0, and you face a fighter in Carlos Abreu that is also a seasoned pro. Where do you think you hold the advantage inside the ring, and where do you think you can get at him? And what punch of yours do you think will be a major weapon for you in this fight?
you just go ahead and tune in on Saturday night. We're working on a lot of different things in camp, and Saturday night I will show you guys what I've been working on.
Yeah, and are you looking to seize on the opening rounds? Is that your plan to come out strong, or are you prepared for the long haul?
Wherever he bring, we're gonna be ready. Like I said, we prepare all the way around. And I'm gonna never know how that guy's smart, have my fun, everything up, and get that stoppage at the end of the night.
Cheers. Thanks a million, Jaron.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, James. We're going to go over our next question from Keith Eidick, Boxing Scene. Keith, go ahead.
My last fight, I did good. There was a lot of things that I watched and I could have did better, and that's what we worked on at this camp, and you guys will see on Saturday night.
What were some of the things that you feel you could have done better?
Just being more relaxed and not rushing the knockout and letting it come to me.
How important is that for you Saturday night, being patient? Because obviously Abreu is a guy who has not been knocked out.
Just like my last opponent, he was another guy that wasn't knocked out or stopped or dropped. And come Saturday night, I will show you guys what I've been working on, and I'm going to do what I need to do.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Keith. Go to our next question from Jeremy Herridges, fansided.com. Jeremy, go ahead.
Hey, Jaron, thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Right now, you're riding a very impressive 15-fight KO streak. Do you feel any pressure to continue that streak? I would assume, obviously, you want to continue it, but do you feel any pressure from that?
No pressure. Like I said before, I'm gonna go in there and just have my fun, be smart, and do the things that I've been working on, and that's it.
From your mentality, do you go into a fight necessarily looking for a knockout, or do you box until the opportunity approaches itself? What's your mindset as far as knockouts come?
You just gotta let it come and you gotta let it come in and just feel it. You can't just go in there and go for the knockout. That's how you get tired and you lose your cool, or you even get hit with punches that you shouldn't be getting hit with. So
obviously your opponent Abreu has been in with some notable names. Are there any fights that you've watched of his or studied closely in particular? Talk about maybe your mental preparation for this fight.
No, I like I said before, I don't watch people that I fight because you don't know how they're gonna come. Just because he fight that guy that one way, don't mean he gonna fight me that same way. So you gotta prepare yourself all the way around all the board. So just be ready.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jaron, and best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeremy. Our next question comes from Reggie Woodson. Reggie, unmute and you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We got you now. Yep.
Thanks for your time today, Jaron. And congratulations on getting back in the ring. Does this, I know you're on the hill, and Abreu has, a Kavaliauskas and a Vesputin on his record. Do you think this gives you the chance to show fans and, and pundits how you match up with those guys?
Most definitely. I feel like on Saturday night. That's why I want to make a statement and let the welterweight division know that I'm nothing to be played with, and I'm here.
Last question along those lines. Kind of just watching the recent history of welterweight. How confident are you that any of these elite guys give you that chance before either moving on or retiring or, you know, going up? How confident are you in that happening?
Hopefully after this fight on Saturday night, not looking past my opponent, and after I do my thing on Saturday night, get that win. Hopefully I'll get one of the top 5 guys or something like that in my next fight before I get to the world championship.
All right. Thanks for your time, man. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Reggie. We have a couple more questions in queue here. Boots, stand by. I'm going to ask you one if you don't mind. I'd like to know, you know, you've got a tough challenge in front of you for sure. 10-round welterweight fight Saturday. At 25-0, do you feel you're ready for a title shot? And if so, where do you want to go from here if you have success on Saturday?
Most definitely, I'm ready. I've been ready. And after Saturday night, I say probably get like a title eliminator, and then sometime 2021, I will be world champion.
That's terrific. All right, let's go to Jonathan Nagyoff. Jonathan, hope I pronounced your last name right. Forgive me if I haven't. You can unmute and go ahead.
Yeah, that's correct. Thanks. Hey, Jaron. Jonathan here from Pro Boxing Fans. There's been a lot of comparisons made between yourself and Roy Jones Jr. I just wondered what you made of them comparisons.
I mean, that's great, but like outside my family, Roy Jones is like one of my favorite fighters. So, and that's a phenomenal thing to have. People stand about me.
You've mentioned countless times your ambitions to face one of the top guys with a title, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, you name it. Which fighter of those do you think stylistically suits you best?
It doesn't matter with me because I adjust very well to anybody. So whatever one gives me the opportunity.
Yourself as well as Virgil Ortiz are rated as some of the top welterweight contenders without a title. Is that a fight you see happening down the line?
Most definitely. We can definitely make that happen for sure.
Do you have a prediction for your fight on Saturday? You've been saying on Instagram 100% knockout. Is that what happens on Saturday night?
We're going to go in there and have my fun and take my time. And definitely we're going to get that knockout established.
And a final one from me. You're fighting on Showtime. You don't actually have a promoter as such at the moment. Have you had any conversations with US or UK promoters about signing a deal?
No.
Fair enough. Well, best of luck on Saturday night, Boots.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Jonathan, thanks. Looks like we have time for 2 more. We have 2 more questions here. Garrison Bland. Garrison, please go ahead.
Hey, Jerron, how's it going, man? All right. So, Jerron, you know, going into this fight, and you mentioned you want to look impressive. When you look at the ranking systems, you're ranked close to the top 10 in some, I think around 15 in one of them, right? So when you look at this fight with a guy like Abreu, should this move you up in the ranking system to where you should be considered, like you said, for a title eliminator or some type of fight where it puts you directly in line for one of the top guys?
Most definitely. Right now, I got to get what I can take because guys been turning me down, so I have to get what I can take. So I definitely, for me, if I stop Abreu on Saturday night, they definitely gonna see. They understand why these guys are running and don't want to fight me.
Okay, and also, you know, being here with Three Kings Boxing, we also looking at the fact that you got a lot of moves going on in your division. You're starting to become one of those high risk, low reward type of guys. In a fight like this, should this kind of change the perception of some of the other guys that we got to take this dude seriously and at some point going to have to deal with it?
Yeah, I definitely feel that way. Definitely feel like I am a high risk, low reward, and that's why the guys try to jump around and not pick me. Like I will be the last resort to go to if they have to fight somebody. So, but at the end of the day, I just gotta keep winning, keep climbing the ranks, and get to that #1 spot. So I can make them, so I can be the mandatory, and they can't run around and not fight me.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jerron.
Thank you.
Okay, Jerron, last question comes from Philly Sports Hub, David Malandra. David, if you unmute, you can go ahead. Here you
are. It feels great to put Philly on my back, and I can't wait to perform and show the rest of the world my talent on Saturday night.
Do you feel like you're being like avoided? Like basically, it looks like you're going to be one of those fighters that, like, say, don't want to fight like Triple G. Basically, be one of the most avoided fighters in the business.
From the looks of things, that's how it's going. But like I said, at the end of the day, all I gotta do is just keep winning and better myself each and every time I fight.
And when did you, after this fight, do you want to bring one back to Philly and show everybody what you're capable of?
Can you say that again?
You want to, in your next fight, do you want to come bring that to Philadelphia?
My next fight?
Yes.
It doesn't matter where my next fight is gonna be, but I definitely love to fight at home and put on another phenomenal performance in front of my friends and family. So most definitely.
All right, sounds good. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. And we would love to do a fight with you, Boots, in Philadelphia. So we wish you luck the rest of the week here. Thanks for the time. We'll let you go, prepare for the weigh-in. And then, of course, we'll see you Saturday night.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it. Okay, everybody, we'll put all the hands down and we'll get started with our next fighter shortly. Cobia Breedi coming up next. Okay, folks, stand by for Cobia Breedi. He'll be coming in shortly. We're just cleaning the station where the fighters will sit for the media avail, and I'll be right with you. Okay, Corey, looks like we're ready. How you doing, Cobia? Okay, great. So welcome, Cobia Breedi. You are undefeated at 15-0 with 5 knockouts, fighting out of Barbados. So it'll be the first time we see you on Showtime. We welcome you to media availability today. Going to make a note to the press. Use the raise hand function, as you know, in the Zoom if you want to get in queue to ask questions of Cobia. And I'll start, if I may. Cobia, tell us about your preparations for this fight. It appears, based on looking over your record, that Tugsthat Nyambayar is the most accomplished fighter, maybe the most veteran fighter you've faced thus far. Tell us about your preparations and how you plan to deal with him on Saturday.
First of all, I want to thank God for bringing me here. I want to shout thanks him for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank my team, my coach Floyd, Barry Hunter, for making this all possible. You know, I'm a homeboy from Barbados. You know, I live in the gym, so I'm always ready for whenever the phone rings. So I don't gotta get ready. We had a wonderful camp. I know I was originally supposed to fight September 26th, but that fell through. So I had another opportunity to be on standby for this fight. So when the opportunity came to me and my team, we was like, I was like, yeah, let's do this. And then, so like I said, we've been training, we've been in camp, I've been ready. So I was ready. I'm ready for whatever.
Then you're coming out of the Headbangers Gym in Washington, D.C., Barry Hunter, trainer. How long have you been working with Barry out of that facility there in Washington?
Well, before Barry is my coach Floyd. So Coach Floyd, I came over here to the US to Coach Floyd, and then we started our journey together to all the way up to like 11-0, and then one day Barry Hunter gave us a call, wanted to spar with Rashid Warren, and then when we went over there and sparred, we fell in love with them and the team, with the Headbangers crew, and since then he came on board, and he gave us help to get us to the next level. So that's when he came into my career and my life.
That's terrific. Barry Hunter's a hard man not to like. Glad you connected with him. We're going to start with questions from the press here. Jeremy Herridges. Jeremy from fansided.com. Go ahead.
Hi, Cobia. Thank you for taking the time to talk. Can you talk a little bit about, you said how this fight came into play a little bit. As far as when you were presented with it, did you stop, hesitate at all, or did you say, I want this immediately?
First of all, I had to get together with my team first, and Barry and Coach, and we sat down and we said we had a meeting about it, and we was like, this is what we want to do. We all agreed, this is the opportunity. Opportunities only come once in a lifetime. So we all both was like, let's go ahead and make it happen.
You've got a perfect record going up against a tough opponent. Do you feel any sense of pressure, or do you feel like the pressure's on Nyambayar?
I'm never under pressure. I know what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for, like everybody's saying, is bigger than me. I'm doing it for my people back home in Barbados. I'm doing it for my friends, my family, my wife, my team, everybody. I'm going out there September 19th, and the world will know who Cobia Breedi is. And I also want to thank my people from Barbados, the Barbados Defense Force Sports Program. I want to give a thanks to the Barbados Olympic Association, the Barbados Boxing Association, and everybody. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. And I'm also want to give a shout out. Well, not a shout out. I also really want to Rihanna, hopefully one day, to bring me to the ring.
Final question for me. When you're in the ring with Nyambayar, what do you want to show fans? What skills do you want to really show off, and what do you think we're going to see from you on that night that people are going to be left with a memory of?
People are going to see a lot. Like me and my coach, we have this thing called the 7 styles of boxing. So every time I fight, people always say you fight like Timothy Bradley, fight like Pacquiao, you do a little Floyd Mayweather. So that's when my 7 styles come into play. I even got a little bit of Joe Frazier in me, old school. So it all depends on what he brings to the table. We will find a way to match what he's doing.
Sounds good, and I look forward to seeing those styles. Thank you, Cobia.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, that's quite a combination there, Cobia. Excellent. Thanks, Jeremy. Let's go to Sean Zettel from Fight Hype. Sean, you can unmute and go ahead.
Hey, Cobia. Thanks for giving us the time. Looking at Nyambar in his last fight with Gary Russell, what did you see from him, and what did you think of that fight overall?
It was a good fight. Gary did what he had to do to win. So I just got to go in there September 19th and show the world what I can do and what I will do, and show everybody will get to know who Soldier Breedi is September 19th.
Were you impressed from Nyambar in that fight?
Yes, no. Like I said, he's a good fighter. He's a silver medalist. He fought good competitors, but he never fought a soldier yet. So September 19th, he's gonna be facing something different.
And I know, like you were talking about Barbados earlier. What would it be like to become a world champion from Barbados?
It will be history. It will be great for my people. It will be great for the government, for everybody, because boxing in Barbados, is not a big thing because it's different. We can consider a third world country. So me bringing back a hope for my country is an awesome thing, and that will give my people hope. That will give kids dreams that if I could do it. I came from Barbados. I left Barbados to come to America to follow my dream to become world champ, and I got this far. And if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. So September 19th, I'm ready.
Yeah, and it touches on my next question, which was, what's the journey been like coming to the United States and becoming a professional, prize fighter, and what's this whole journey been like coming from Barbados to America to make it as a professional?
It's been a journey, It's been different, adapting to the new cultures, because our culture is different to American culture. Coming over here, it was hard. We had our ups and downs in the boxing game. It's so much stuff that I had to overcome coming over here, from sleeping on the bus station on New York, just come back to Washington D.C. It was a lot.
And yeah, lastly, I know you touched on it, mentioning guys like Joe Frazier and Floyd Mayweather and Tim Bradley. Are these the guys you looked up to, coming up? And do you feel, who are the fighters you feel most influenced by?
Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones, and the list goes on.
Who do you think you fight the most like out of all of them?
It's kind of hard to say. Like everybody, like my last fight, and people in New York was calling me Black EL because I was throwing so much punches and pressing the guy on. My fight before that, they said I was fighting. I was doing a little bit of Floyd Mayweather, and I was doing the Joe Frazier slide, the Joe Frazier style. So it all depends on the opponent.
Thanks, Cobia.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Looks like we have time for hopefully one or two more questions here. Let's go to Carlos Toro. Carlos, go ahead.
Thanks so much for taking time to talk to me. Really appreciate it. Obviously, I think you mentioned earlier that you were supposed to fight, or you were planning to fight on September 26th. And obviously with this fight against Nyambayar being just days away, did that sort of change a little bit your preparation and your mental state when it comes to, now getting to fight a week earlier against a tough opponent than Nyambayar?
No, I mean, I always stay in the gym. Like I said, we live in the gym. I'm always getting great sparring from all different types of athletes, like Sean Porter, um, Isaac Dogbe, and guy named Max from the gym. I even been in camp with Gary Russell. Um, so me stepping up to I've been around champs. I've been around world champs, so I know what it takes for me to get to the next level.
And lastly, I earlier you were talking about something that you call the 7 styles of boxing, and I just wanted to ask, sort of, where did that came from? Like, was it simply you wanting to emulate as many different styles and just being a fighter that can adapt to any situation as possible, or where did that all come from?
It all comes from love of seeing what other boxers was doing, like the Floyd Mayweather, his style, and then the Joe Frazier, and then the Muhammad Ali, then the Roy Jones, and then the Pacquiao style. It just I fell in love with all of that, and I work on that because I want to be an ultimate fighter. I want to be unbeatable, and I want to be a hard guy to figure out.
Thanks, Kobaya, and best of luck this Saturday against Nayan Bayar.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Carlos. I think we're going to have to move on now, but I'm definitely inspired by your story of coming to the U.S. and moved by all the opportunity you see in front of you. Thanks for taking the time with us today. There are so many fights at featherweight, super featherweight, even super bantamweight in and around your area. So we wish you success and then continued success past Saturday. Folks, we're going to take a break. Thanks so much, Kobia. Take a break and be back with King Tug Nyambayar shortly. Quick update to the press. I'll get started with Tug in just a minute. We'll have to work through Tug's translator, Dan. I'm sorry, I'm getting a note now that Tug is going to speak English with us today. So this is great. Stand by and we'll get started shortly.
Fool sounded mad.
Okay, Corey, I think we're ready. Good afternoon, King Tug. Chris de Blasio here from Showtime. Welcome. You're on with several members, about 20 plus members of the media, here to ask you questions in advance of the big fight on Saturday. Welcome. Hope your stay at Mohegan has been okay. Corey, can you open the microphone here? Thanks very much. Tug, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to Connecticut, and thanks for being part of another Showtime boxing event. Last time out, you had a bit of a setback. Tell us about how your preparations have gone now, and where you're at in terms of preparations for Saturday. Are you ready to go?
Oh yeah. I had good training camp. I'm ready for Saturday night.
Okay, and where was your training camp for this fight, and how did you handle through the COVID protocols and trying to stay safe through the pandemic while also prepare for the fight?
It's kind of hard. I'm just staying home and wearing mask.
Where did you have your training camp for this fight?
Oh, Northridge and Pullman's Gym at Pullman's Gym.
Southern California. Okay, great. We already have a couple of questions in queue. We're going to invite the press in to ask you questions, Tug, and stand by here. We'll start with Jeremy Herridges, fansided.com. Jeremy, go ahead.
Hi, Tug. Thank you for taking the time to talk. Looking back and reflecting on your fight with Gary Russell Jr., looking back, did you learn anything from that experience? And if so, what?
Nothing. It wasn't my night. Oh, now I'm better, I think.
What do you feel that you've improved on since that fight?
This fight or that fight?
That fight, since that fight, what do you think you've worked on, or what have you done better?
Just waiting too much. He's controlled the fight.
Do you feel like you need to come out faster, throw more punches in this fight? Is that something that you're looking to do?
Here's that an inch хамаагүй өстэй зүгээр. Энэ тоглолтын дээр юу хийн гэж юу? Юу хийж байгаа? Юу гэж яах вэ?
You just control the fight from the beginning to the end.
Dan, if you could, Dan, don't be shy to speak up into the microphone. We can hear you fairly well. But go ahead. Please tell us what Tug said.
Oh, I just control the fight. This fight.
Final question.
Good.
Final question for me. How much do you know about your opponent? Have you seen any of his fights before?
I watched his couple fights. He's good.
Mm-hmm. What do you think he does well within his fights?
Yeah. He's being he's tough guy. Let's see what happens Saturday night.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tug, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Jeremy, thanks. Let's go to Keith Idek, boxing scene.
Hi, Tug. When you said that you had an off night, did you not feel yourself that night? What did you mean by that when it was not your night against Gary Russell?
Яг ингээд тоглолтын дунд л басан гэх юм. Юу гэх юм. Тэгээд би түрүүний өгч би одоо дахиад тоглоод бол билээ гэдэг чинь.
It's just during the fight. Just during the fight.
Түрүүн Johnny тааж өгч юу. Надад ч юу.
What was the
He asked if you just had an off night during the fight, or what was it, the night, or what do you think caused that? Was it bad training hard, or you
бэлтгэл муу сноо эсвэл ер нь дундуур нь fight ч өөр юм болчихсон уу?
Дундуур нөр.
It's just during the fight, it's just off that night.
But it wasn't anything physically wrong with him or anything. He just didn't feel himself.
Амны асуудал байгаагүй.
No excuse. That fight, something happened. You can зөндөл юм биш үү?
Yeah,
Би
just
зүгээр одоо дахиад тоглоно гэдэг.
yeah, I will fight him again.
Yeah.
I will rematch if he wants.
If he wants, I would rematch. I would love to fight him again.
Okay, I just want to clarify though, if we could, was there something wrong with you that night physically or not?
Yeah, actually.
What?
Миний хөл гинцдэг нам гэвдэг my feet.
The ankle?
Yeah.
The ankle problem.
My ankles there the fight. That's why I'm not using my legs and movement. Just just moving chest and moving head movement. My feet's ankles are problem.
So was your ankle injured before the fight or during the fight?
Before the fight. I'm happy to
I had ankle problems, ankle little injury. It's not that serious injury, but little injury.
Yeah.
Can you speak up? I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying. If you could speak up, I would.
I had an ankle injury, but it's not like before that. Like
I had a it's not severe ankle injury, but I had a little injury before the fight. And I had much less running than usually during camp.
I didn't run like jogging always the fight. Like hard, not run.
Okay, which ankle was it?
Right ankle.
Right ankle. So Tug, do you feel that if I'm sorry?
I thought you're not happy. Yeah. Steve got pain ankle, right ankle.
Ankle sprain. Okay. You feel if you fought him fully healthy that the fight would be different against Gary Russell if you were completely healthy?
Yeah, of course.
How much better do you feel that you'll be in this fight, assuming that you are completely healthy in this fight? And I know you're fighting an opponent who's not as good as Gary Russell, of course, but how much better do you think you'll perform on Saturday night because you're healthy?
This time is much better, I feel, and physically, mentally. I'm training 8 weeks hard training. I had 8 weeks good training. I'm ready for this Saturday night. I put a good show. Watch me.
Tug, was there any point when you had hurt your ankle before you fought Gary Russell that you thought about pulling out of the fight?
No.
Okay. One last I have. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just want to fight.
I just want to fight. No guys, I just want to fight. Especially Gary Russell. I'm waiting 1 more year. 1 year. If we fight again, I don't want to wait 1 more year.
To fight him again, you mean?
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, you obviously had a change in opponents in the last couple of weeks. How did that impact your preparation for the fight with a late change in opponent?
Nothing. No matter. I'm just focused on this fight. We're here to win. And next step, title shot. Gary or whoever. I'm here to win.
Thank you for your time, Tug.
Okay, thanks, Keith. Let's go to Carlos Toro. Carlos, go ahead.
Hey, King Tug. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. Obviously, speaking a little bit more on the change in opponent, obviously you were originally supposed to fight Eduardo Ramirez in a WBC featherweight title eliminator, but obviously from all the press release and everything, doesn't look like this is a title eliminator anymore. Was there a part of you that's kind of disappointed in that fact that that's no longer title eliminator?
Хайдал игнэнд биш болсон юм бүх медианы тийм гарч байна те ямар нэгэн чиг одоо одоо
Disappointed биш.
гээ санаа чинь гэр
No, I feel good. Oh my. Just focus on the fight.
How much have you sort of spent time sort of reflecting on the loss of Gary Russell Jr.? How much have you sort of had to sort of look at what you did that night and just think to yourself, like there may be some things that you can do and improve upon that could work if you were to fight Gary Russell Jr. again?
Чигээр бэрээс дахин тоглоод юугээ өөрчлөх вэ? Ямар нэгэн давуу юм хийх үү, илүү юм хийх үү? I will change everything.
I will change everything. I will beat him for sure.
Thanks, King Tug. Looking forward to seeing you in the ring this Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take just one more here from Sean Zattel. Sean, we have just a few more minutes. Go ahead.
Hey, Tug, I know you said you were able to watch some of Cobia's fights on tape. You know, he could be very aggressive. He even says he could be like Joe Frazier style sometimes. Does that play into your hands, a guy being that aggressive?
Тэрний тоглолтыг үзсэн зарим хүмүүс Joe Frazier тоглолтог гэж ярьсан байна. Тэгээд юу гэж бодчих.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. You watch the fight.
Doesn't matter. I watched the fight.
I'll show you Saturday.
I will show you Saturday night. This fight's fine.
But do you prefer that kind of style to go against as opposed to a guy who's trying to box and move for most of the night?
Шамар зүгээр амар тийм ширүүн дайралтай орж ирдэг гэж энэ тоглолтыг чи тэр нэг нөлөөлөхгүй гэж.
Nah.
Ultimately, how do you see the fight going? Do you see this fight ending in a stoppage, or do you think you'll have to go the full 12?
I think I will stop him. Middle of the rounds.
And lastly, Tug, if it's not going to be Gary Russell, who's another guy in the division you'd really like to fight?
Don't matter. I'll fight anybody. Who wants to fight me? I'll fight.
You think you and Jesse Magdaleno, I know he's the number 2 ranked guy at the WBC, you're number 1. You think that would be a good fight?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Sean, and thank you, Tug. That's our second knockout prediction, and this would be the second fight of the night on the 3-fight card on Showtime. King, Tug, thank you very much. We'll let you go. Continue to prep for the weigh-in and for Saturday's fight. Good luck.
Thank you.
To the press, we'll be back shortly with Juan Carlos Abreu and possibly another knockout prediction. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, Juan and Hector. Juan Carlos, can you hear me? Hola, Juan Carlos. How are you?
Good.
Good. I understand that Hector is there to help us translate Spanish to English.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, Hector. Thanks for being with us. Chris de Blasio here from Showtime.
I recognize the voice.
Yes, sir. So we're going to do some questions from the press. We're going to ask, if you would, you ask Juan Carlos to give us some initial comments about his preparations and training camp headed into Saturday.
Okay. Now?
Yes, please. We are on with, we have about 20, 25 members of the press standing by. We'll take some questions from them. Just a couple from me to start us off, and then we'll go to the press questions one at a time.
Okay, so you want me to ask, ¿cómo fue el entrenamiento para esta pelea?
Súper bueno, un buen entrenamiento. Tenemos una buena condición y a lo que vinimos a pelear, hacer un buen trabajo y dar lo mejor de nosotros.
He's doing good. He prepared very well, and he's ready to give the best of himself.
Okay, I'd like to know, if I may, what you know, Juan Carlos, about Jaron Ennis. He's an undefeated fighter. He comes with a lot of power, and I think a lot of expectations on his shoulders. What do you know about him, and what do you hope to accomplish on Saturday night?
¿Qué tú sabes de Jaron Ennis? El invicto dice que viene con mucho poder. ¿Qué tú sabes de él? ¿Qué esperas de él?
Es un buen prospecto, un muchacho joven con mucha hambre de subir, pero en esta pelea se va a implantar lo que es juventud contra experiencia. Ya yo tengo mucha experiencia, yo he peleado con muchos boxeadores de alta calidad y yo hago mi trabajo, que es ganarle a los jóvenes y a quien sea.
He said, yes, he's young, and the way he sees this fight is going to be his youth versus his experience. He fought a lot of young guys, a lot of people with ability, and we're going to find out the day of the fight.
Well, we'll look forward to that. We're going to go to questions from the press. We'll start with Sean Zattel. Sean, go ahead.
Un muchacho ahí que va a preguntar.
Hey, Juan, I just, you've been in there with a lot of top guys, a lot of top fighters. You've never been stopped, never been knocked out. But what do you got to do to get over the hump this time, to get the victory against the level of this opponent?
¿Qué tú tienes que hacer para hacer una victoria en el nivel de ese contrincante?
Trabajar más el cuerpo y...
Work the body.
¿Qué fue lo que me dijo?
¿Qué tú tienes que hacer?
Para ganar una victoria. Usar mi experiencia. Ya yo sé lo que es la derrota y la buena derrota que yo he tenido. Esa me dan experiencia para seguir avanzando y saber cómo entrarle a los peleadores así de esa manera como él.
His losses have gave him the wisdom and the experience to deal with, with someone like Jaron Ennis.
Did seeing, your countryman, Jason Rosario, score that upset, did it give you further motivation or belief that you can?
Motivación, Jason.
Claro, ese muchacho dominicano, muchacho joven, claro que nos da motivación porque él nos demuestra que nosotros también podemos, ¿me entiendes? Lo que venimos atrás de ellos.
Yes, that gave him a lot of motivation. That gave the country motivation. Gives him, it shows him the light that he can do what he did.
To you, is Jaron Ennis as good as so many people in boxing seem to think?
Jaron Ennis es bueno como todos los prospectos que tú ves en boxeo. Sí, Ennis, sí es bueno como todos los prospectos.
Es un boxeador bueno como
He's a good fighter, like all the prospects.
No le voy a quitar mérito, pero creo que lo precipitaron mucho conmigo porque soy un boxeador de mucha experiencia.
I think they put him in over his head. I've never been knocked out. He's going to have to fight.
Esta va a ser su primera pelea.
This is going to be his first fight, actual fight.
How do you deal with a guy who has a lot of speed and power?
Con un muchacho que tiene mucha rapidez.
No, yo voy a hacer mi trabajo.
I'm going to do my work.
trabajar
like I always
pasito
done.
y llevarlo a mi terreno. Mi terreno es del sexto y séptimo salto al 10.
And put him in position where it's my territory. My territory is from 6th round to 10.
We've been getting some knockout predictions today. Do you feel that you'll win this fight in a knockout?
Mucha gente están buscando qué asalto van a noquear, en qué pelea. ¿Tú crees que tú vas a noquear en esta pelea?
Sí, sí, yo creo que en la pelea hay un knockout o él me noquea a mí o yo lo voy a noquear a él, pero yo no voy a dejar que la pelea llegue a decisión.
I'm not going to allow the fight to go the distance. I'm gonna fight him in my territory. Either he knocks me out or I'm gonna knock him out. But this fight will end up in a knockout because if I paraphrase, if it gets too ugly where I'm behind on points, I'm just gonna go for it. And going for it, if he knocks me out, he knocks me out, or I knock him out.
Thank you, Juan.
You're okay.
Bold prediction from Juan Carlos. We appreciate this and appreciate you, Hector. Thanks. Jeremy Herridges, let's go to you.
Hi, Juan. Kind of talking about how you see this fight going. Do you see this as a brawl or do you see this as a boxing match? Which one do you think is going to transpire?
No, él no se va a parar. Él no se va a parar nunca. Si él se para,
If he stands and fight,
mejor para mí porque
it's better for me.
Lo que yo quiero.
That's what I want.
Uno de los dos porque yo voy loco.
Because what I really want, I don't care. What I really want is someone to get knocked out. I don't care if I get knocked out or if I knock him out. But if he stands and fight, then he's giving me a better chance to knock him out.
Dile que la pérdida no es nada nuevo para mí.
He said to lose is nothing.
Ojalá yo que nos
new.
noquemos los dos en el mismo salto.
And it'd be even better if we both knock each other out in the same round.
It's an interesting perspective. So it kind of seems like you feel very laid back and you feel very like you have nothing to lose. Do you feel like all the pressure's on him?
Que tú no tienes nada que tú te sientes que tú no tienes nada de perder, que toda la presión es en él.
I know. Toda la presión es de él. Yo no tengo presión ninguna.
I don't have no pressure. All the pressure's on him.
Yo vengo de tata preso. Yo tenía un grillete y me lo quitaron hace como 5 días, 4 días.
So he said he just recently, he can't go any further. All this is a blessing because he just recently got out of jail. Right before he came here, he got the bracelet, his ankle bracelet taken out. So how can he fear Ennis, or how can Ennis put any fear into him? He don't have anything to lose. He's going for the knockout and whatever happens. He said he said all this negative energy that he's getting from people, and he doesn't put that much pressure on himself. He know he has a punch, and that will save the day if he stands there.
Por eso yo dije que queremos que ojalá y nos quedáramos los dos en el mismo asalto.
Hopefully
por todo el maltrato que yo he tenido todos estos días, le quitamos la Riverrín con alguien.
So all the pressure and all this struggle that he's been going through, he finally get to release it in the actual fight that, you know, he get paid to fight and not what he was in jail for, fighting in the street.
Dígale que esta pelea para mí es como yo comerme un dulce.
He said this fight for me is like me eating a piece of candy. It's nothing.
Thank you very much, Juan, and best of luck.
I know, thank you.
These are some incredible backstories we've already heard from the 2 red corner sides on Saturday's co-feature fights leading into our main event. So this is great. We appreciate this this ability to entertain here on the Zoom, but also looking forward to an action-packed fight on Saturday night. Thank you. We're going to go to another question here. Reggie Woodson. Reggie, go ahead.
¿Cómo es?
How you doing, Juan?
Good.
I see you only had 4 rounds in 2019. You know, Duran is a athletic kid, uses the ring well. Have you had the chance to fight in sparring and preparation? Have you had any partners help you with your being prepared for that fitness wise?
Si tú tenías a gente guanteando que puede mirar como Ennis, se puede ver como Ennis.
Sí, sí. He tenido 5 o 6 guanteos como él, más o menos.
Yeah, he had 4, 5, 6 sparring partners that mimic Ennis.
Okay. And getting through some of the guys you fought recently, these guys have went on to eliminators and title fights and whatnot. You had success against those guys. What's the key to putting that success together for all 10 rounds?
Tú tenías éxito con esa gente que tú peleabas pasado. So, ¿qué manera tú vas a hacer para poner todo ese éxito que cogiste en esa pelea antes para ponerla aquí?
Esa pelea que yo tuve anteriormente,
The fights I had before,
me sirven bastante para esta.
they helped me a lot for this fight.
Y también no me sirven tampoco porque cada boxeador es diferente.
They help me and they don't help me in the case where every fight is different.
Lo importante
The important,
es yo en
the
cada
important
pelea
is
dejarlo todo.
the important is for me to every single fight to give my all.
¿Entiendes? Ya yo voy a coger esta pelea como mi primera y mi última.
So I'm taking a fight like it's my first or my last.
Okay, last question. We've seen some crazy poker faces before, and you're very lighthearted and joyful today. Do you think your demeanor could create some problems for Jaron in picking up on how you're coming into this fight?
El actitud tuyo, que si tú crees que le puede poner el problema a él, como él tiene presión, coge todo serio y tú relajas.
Lo que pasa en eso, él está serio.
I know he's a very serious
Él
kid,
tiene presión, yo no tengo
and he's
presión
more
de
serious
él.
because he has a lot of pressure on himself.
Yo conozco lo que es la calle, la cárcel, yo
I
conozco
know-
todo y lo que es el boxeo. Yo no tengo
I
que
know
tener
the
presión.
streets, I know jail, I know boxing, I know how to act, I know how to be myself.
La presión dura.
The real pressure
Cuando esté arriba del ring.
is when you're really
Si él
in the
tiene presión
ring.
ahora, si él tiene presión ahora sin pelear, imagínense cuando suba arriba.
If he's feeling the pressure from you guys now, imagine the pressure he'll feel in the ring.
Y él dijo en una entrevista que él me iba a
And
noquear.
he said in the interview that he was going to knock me out.
Dígale que todavía yo estoy esperando ese peleador que me noquee a mí.
And I'm still waiting for the fighter to not be able to knock me out. I have yet to be knocked out. And
Ya que me noquee. Yo estoy loco me noquee para salir de eso, para matarnos los dos.
he said, I'm just ready for us to kill each other. If he gets a knockout, he gets a knockout. But he's gonna have a storm ahead of him.
All right, best of luck to you Saturday night.
All right, Reggie, thank you. Juan Carlos, thank you. Hector, thank you. Appreciate the energy and the enthusiasm. We look forward to action-packed co-feature fight here. Good luck, get ready for the weigh-in, and good luck on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Hector. Okay, to the press, we'll be back with our main event, Terrell Gausha, coming up next. Stand by. Okay, Corey, looks like we're ready with Mr. Gausha. Hey, Terrell, how you doing? Chris de Blasio here from Showtime.
Hey, how you doing? I'm good.
All right, can you give us another mic check there, Terrell?
Mic check. 1, 2.
It's a little bit low, Corey, or is that me, or?
You got it.
You want to bring your chair a little bit closer?
Go ahead, Terrell. That sounds better. Go ahead.
Mic check. 1, 2.
That's much better. Okay, great. Terrell, so Chris de Blasio here from Showtime. Thanks for being on. We've got a bunch of members of the press. We're going to have them ask questions one at a time. Just give you a chance to make some opening comments. Tell us about your training camp and what you hope to do Saturday night. I know you're looking to continue a comeback trail from the lone setback in your career. Give us a little bit of background leading into the fight and what you expect on Saturday.
We had a good training camp. You know, we put the work in. We in shape. We ready. On Saturday, I'm looking to put my best performance to date and get the victory.
All right, this is a title eliminator. This is to get you in position for a title shot down the line. What do you expect against with the opposition across the ring from you? He's in a similar position in his career. You both took the only losses in your career on the same night, and you're both on a trajectory towards the world championship status again. What do you think ERICKSON Lubin's going to bring that you have to counter?
I'm expecting ERICKSON Lubin to come ready. You know, I'm expecting a good fight. You know, we both know what's on the line. We both know a title shot awaits us, you know, but I'm looking to make a statement and go out there and take control.
All right, great. Let's start with James Conlon. James, you can unmute and ask your questions for Terrell Gausha.
Hello, Terrell. This is a title eliminator, as we call it, but there's so much on the line resting for both fighters. A defeat is going to be a long, long road back to get back into this position again. So it's almost like a defining fight in your career as such. You both have similar records. You're 21-1. The only defeat to ERICKSON Lubin is 22-1. The only defeat to Jermell Charlo. For the winner of this fight, it's going to propel you to elite status. But for the loser, it's going to be a very long road all the way back to the top. So I take it, Terrell, you have only win on your mind. And with that in thoughts, how do you think you're going to get the better of ERICKSON Lubin, given that everything is at stake in this fight?
Well, like I said, it's a big fight, great opportunity for both of us. We know it's at stake, but you know, when is on my mind, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to fight for the titles next, and I'm gonna go out there and do what I got to do to win. Whatever we got to do, that's what we're gonna do. We can box, we can bang, we can do it all.
Yeah, on that note, best of luck, Terrell, at upcoming fight, and we wish you all the best here in Ireland.
Thank you.
Okay, James, thank you. Let's go to our next one from Reggie Woodson. Reggie, go ahead.
It was good, Terrell.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, any thoughts on the role that Ohio's been playing? You're an Ohioan. Ohio fighters have played a prominent part in the resumption of boxing. Jared Anderson has kind of had the best run, I think, and Herring, I know, is in Cincinnati. But what's your thoughts on representing the state, you know, in the boxing game?
Yeah, Ohio always true players in the game. We always been effective in the sport. So, you know, you got people like Rashid Warren, Robert Easter, myself. The list goes on and on. I'm happy to be from Ohio and represent, especially the city of Cleveland too.
All right, Lubin is, I believe, a bit of the favorite in this, and I'm sorry, I had a phone call. Lubin is a bit of the favorite in this, but you go in with coming out of camp with Manny Robles, who had a prominent impact on Pearson and getting things right in his career, and as well as Ruiz. What do you think the benefit will be, with Robles leading you into this?
Yeah, like you said, Lubin a favorite in this fight. I'm no stranger to being an underdog. That don't bother me one bit. But I've been with Manny Robles for a long time, even before I went pro, capturing with the WSB, making it to the Olympics, and now still the same. So we got good chemistry. We've been working together for a while. We know each other real well. And I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right, last question. You're a very classic boxer, do everything well. Any pressure here on your end to not leave this in the judges' hands, knowing what's at stake?
There's no pressure for me. I'm gonna go out there and do what I do best. I put a lot of work in training camp, and you win your fights in the gym. My trainer always tells me so. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to put on a show. I'm ready to fight tomorrow.
Any reaction to or thoughts on Lubin's performance against the one-sided win that he had against Gallimore? Any thoughts on how he looked that night?
No thoughts at all.
All right, thanks, boss.
All right,
Best of luck.
All right, Reggie, thanks a lot. Let's go to Sean Zettel from Fight Hype. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, Terrell, do you feel in this fight, I know Lara at that time in 2017 was so hard to hit and to pin down, but do you feel because you weren't able to throw a lot of punches per round in this fight that you have to take more chances this time, and take more chances in fighting Lubin this time around?
One more time, can you repeat that question? I didn't get it, I'm sorry.
I know that Lara, when you fought him, he was on top of his game. It's hard, and he was a hard guy to hit, and because of that, you weren't able to throw a lot of punches in that fight. But do you feel this time against Lubin, you'll have to throw more punches and take more chances this time around in a big fight?
Lubin and Lara are two different fighters. I definitely want to let my hands go, but it's no pressure for me. Like I said, this would be my fourth southpaw in a row since facing Lara. So I'm more familiar, I'm more comfortable, and like I said, I'm ready to go.
So there's no greater sense of urgency this time around than the last time it was a big fight with Lara.
No, I didn't say that. Right. I mean, it's always a sense of urgency because it's a big fight, but this is a different fight.
Do you see Lubin's chin as a serious weakness for him, or was that Charlo knockout just, a great shot that he didn't see coming, or do you think he may have a weak chin?
We're gonna see. We're gonna test it. That's our job, to go in there and test it. We're gonna see how it hold up.
I know there's always talk of experience. How do you make it work for you in this fight?
Just my experience is like being in there with the top guys. I fought, like I said, Lara at the time when a lot of people was backing away from that fight. I took that fight. I learned a lot from the loss. I fought another former world champion, which is Austin Trout. Felt like I did really good. Wasn't really 100% in that fight, but now I'm 100%. I'm ready to rock and roll. I think experience will play a factor, but we know it's a good fight. But I'm ready to show and prove I'm the best.
Ultimately, how do you see the fight playing out, Terrell?
I see the fight playing out with me raising my hand at the end. I see me being smart. See me using my jab and dictating the fight, and just controlling every round.
And I mean, I know you're just focused on Saturday night, but do you have an eye towards the Charlo Rosario fight and getting the winner of that fight?
Of course. I mean, I'm watching everybody in the division. Them guys hold the belts. I know they're gonna fight the week after. So, but first I got to take care of business Saturday, and hopefully after I win that one, Lord willing, I'm gonna go and get the belts from them, the winner of that.
And did fighting in the Olympics at middleweight, does that give you any kind of strength or advantage over these guys at 154 now?
I'm gonna do it. Give me a lot of experience because I fought with the top fighters, you know, the elite fighters, and I got that in the back of my mind. I know I can fight any style, and I got that experience. So when you're Olympian, it's a different what's the word for it? Different confidence you have going into the ring.
Thank you so much, Terrell.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Let's go to our next one, Jeremy Harridges, fansided.com. Jeremy, go ahead.
Hi, Terrell. You kind of were talking about going into the Trout fight not 100%. Were you alluding to the hand injury there, or was there other things going on physically?
Not so much the hand injury. I was like really sick. I had caught the cold and stuff like that. I couldn't really breathe, but I made no excuses. I did what I had to do. I won the fight.
You there?
Seems like we have lost the connection for a moment. Stand by, guys.
Can you guys hear us?
Terrell, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, we just had a freeze in the video. Jeremy, you want to ask that question again?
Sure. Yeah. We were talking about your health going into the Trout fight. You talked about how you had a cold going into it, and then you kind of dropped out after that.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I made no excuses. I felt like I won that fight, and I showed my skills. I showed different wrinkles in my game. I showed I could box. I can stand in there and mix it up at the inside. I showed different attributes.
The old saying is styles make fights. Looking at your style and Lubin's style, how do you think your styles mesh, and do you think that your style gives you an advantage over him?
I like the style matchup going into the fight. Lubin, obviously, you know, he like to stay busy. It give me more chance of doing what I do best. And that's when a fighter active is better for me, my chances to catch.
Obviously, dealing with southpaws like Laura, Trout, what type of experience did that give you? And do you feel an added sense of confidence going into this fight with having dealt with such elite southpaws in the past?
Of course, with a fighter like Laura, he's very sharp, very crafty. You got Austin Trout, who try to stay busy. He was a former world champ for all the junior middleweights, and did well against a lot of them. And they give me a extra confidence knowing I can handle myself. And obviously I didn't get to win, but I feel like I won that fight, so that definitely boosted my confidence.
Final question: is it tricky to you fighting southpaws? Is there an added wrinkle in there that makes it more difficult, or at this point, having that experience, do you prefer it?
At this point, it's no problem. They just got two hands like me, and that's all.
Thank you, Terrell, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, I think we got time for one more. Let's try Garrison Bland. Garrison, a couple questions here. We'll finish up with Terrell. Thanks.
Hey, Terrell, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, bro?
All right, man. Garrison Bland, 3 Kings Boxing. I got a question for you, man. When you look at after fighting Laura and seeing that level, after that, you also fought Austin Trout, another former world champion. You got to see that level. It seemed like the competition you fought were to help better you going into a fight with Lubin versus the guys that Lubin fought. Guys Lubin fought were kind of like confidence builders as to where you took a different path to fight guys to help better you. Do you think that seeing that level of competition gives you more confidence going into this fight?
Yeah, absolutely. But with me, I want to fight the best. I feel like I want to leave a legacy behind, like the guys before me. They fought each other. Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, all the Roberto Duran, all these guys fought each other, and to beat be the best, you got to beat the best. So that's what I'm doing. As you can see, the fights I take, even after a long layoff, I take a tough fight, and I'm gonna go out there and prove that I can do whatever I want there.
Now you talked about how Lubin is different from Trout and from Lauder. Lubin is more of a come at you, try, that's why they call him the hammer. He tries to come at you and land big shots. You've never been knocked out. If Lubin tries to come at you to try to knock you out, does that play in your wheelhouse of being able to box him? Because you box a brawler. And so would that play into your sort of style of being able to box him because you can see the punches coming better by him being a southpaw?
We ready for anything. I'm no rookie in there. He can come with whatever he have, but we got something for it.
Okay. And my very last question, after this, you like you said, this is for an eliminator. After this, is there anything that you see, if you win this fight, is there anything that you see that can get in your way at all from gobbling up those belts from whoever wins between Rosario and Charlo?
No, when I win this fight, I feel like my time is now. I feel like I'm getting better with time, and right now it's my time. So when I win this fight, it's nothing stopping me from getting those belts. We're gonna wait and see what happens with them, and I got to take care of business Saturday night, and I don't see nothing getting in my way.
Appreciate you. Thank you for your time, man.
Thank you.
All right, Terrell, we're going to get one more in. Alan Jones, Alan from Cleveland, requesting a question here. Alan, go ahead. Alan, go ahead if you can. You have to unmute your phone.
Terrell Gausha, how you doing? Terrell Gausha, how you doing, man?
What's up,
Al
brother?
Jones from In the Ring, Cleveland, Ohio. How are you?
What's up, Al? How you doing, bro?
Got you, Alan. Just get to your question, please.
Okay, how's that hand feeling? How you looking? What can we expect?
I'm 100%, man. My hand's feeling good. You can expect me to go out there and be sharp. Big Tay is gonna be a night of fireworks, man. I'm gonna let these hands go and get that victory.
With the victory, with the win, what would that mean to you on your next moving forward?
It mean a lot. It'd be my biggest win on paper. It'd be a big statement to get a win like that on my division. And after that, we're going after the belts.
Thank you for your time, Terrell Gausha. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you, bro.
Real, good luck, Real.
All right. All right, Alan.
All right.
Alan and company from Cleveland, thanks for bringing the energy. Terrell, thanks for the time. We know there's a lot at stake for you personally, but a lot of connectivity in the division. Like we said, your fight with Lubin, and then the following week, the unification fight between Jason Rosario and Jermell Charlo. All eyes on 154 pounds, deep division, a lot of opportunity. Wish you a ton of luck. Good luck for tomorrow's weigh-in, of course, and then Saturday's big fight.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time. Okay, we'll be back with ERICKSON LUBIN shortly, guys. Stand by. Okay, Corey, looks like we're ready with Mr. Lubin. Erickson, Chris de Blasio, Showtime here. How you doing? Can get you your mic turned on. About a mic check there, Erickson.
Let's count the test.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's good. That's perfect. This is Chris de Blasio here. I'm gonna mute myself shortly. Have a neighborhood beautification project going on outside. Sorry for the background noise. The new normal, work from home. So we have about 25 members of the press on the line. We'll get to them for a few questions. I'd like to ask you how you feeling, some opening comments, what you expect on Saturday night.
Are we starting now?
Yes, please, go ahead.
I feel great. I had a tremendous training camp once again. And Saturday night, I'm expecting to come out there and look my best and come out with a dominant victory.
So a lot on the line. You had a lone setback in your career a few fights ago. Same with Terrell Gausha. You both seem to be on the same trajectory. This is a title eliminator. On the line, how do you expect to overcome what Terrell is going to bring? What do you expect for Terrell to bring, and how do you want to overcome that?
I'm expecting him to come solid, but the way I train, the way we train, I'm gonna have an answer for everything he comes with.
That's terrific. All right, cool. Let's take some questions from the press. We'll start with Sean Zattel from Fight Hype. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, Erickson, man. How you doing? Everything good?
Doing good.
Good. Do you remember watching? I know he's got 10 years on you. Do you remember watching Terrell Gausha in the Olympics back in 2012 at all?
I do remember watching him in the Olympics.
What have you thought about him when you were watching him then, and even over his career in the Lara fight and fighting him now? After watching him at 12 years old.
To be honest with you, I ain't think too much of him. I knew he was on the Olympic team. I was rooting for him to win, but now we in the pro ranks and it's a whole different ball game. It's a totally different story, and Saturday night, I can't wait, man. It's gonna be something special.
When you've been able to watch him though, how do you size him up? What level of fighter is he, in your opinion?
To me, he's just a solid. He's a solid fighter. Like I said, he's a solid fighter. I feel like I'm on a different level from him. I feel like I'm better than him, of course, and I'm gonna be able to prove that on Saturday night.
I mean, earlier you made a statement last year against Ishe Smith. Is that the kind of performance you want, and not just a victory, but a statement kind of performance?
Of course. I always want to go out there and get the knockout, get the stoppage, and that's always what every fighter wants. But if that doesn't come, then I'm in shape. I'm ready to fight for 12. I'm ready to fight for 15 rounds. That's the type of shape I'm in.
And I know you dared to be great at 21. You challenged for the title, but is the Ishe Smith fight, the Gallimore fight in Gausha, is this the kind of seasoning you maybe needed and you feel you needed for when that second opportunity comes?
For sure. Fighting for the world title at just 22 years old, it did a lot to my game. It just brought me to another level. And, getting those fights under my belt like Ishe Smith, Nathaniel Gallimore, and now Terrell Gausha, so this next go around for the title would definitely be different. I'm more seasoned, more experienced, and I feel like I'm at my best right now.
And obviously you're focused on Saturday night with Gausha, but what do you think about facing the Charlo Rosario winner? You'll be the mandatory for that belt should you win Saturday night.
Yeah, that's the mandatory. I'm fighting for that mandatory spot, and I'm looking forward to getting in the ring with one of those guys to not just fight for one of the straps, but fight for all three straps.
And lastly, does part of you hope it's Charlo that wins so you can run that back with him?
I'm not chasing Charlo. I'm chasing those titles. So if he wins, so be it. And I'm definitely looking forward to a rematch with Charlo. But like I said, I'm looking forward to them titles. That's what I'm chasing.
Thanks, Erickson.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sean. We'll go to James Conlon. James with RCB Radio Sport Ireland. James, go ahead.
Hello, Erickson. We spoke to you on the past in RCB Sport Ireland. We spoke to you before the Nathaniel Gallimore fight, and we had you on the air there, and you said you were going to make a statement against Gallimore, and you were going to. Is this going to be a more tactical sort